Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and we're live again with the Next Gen Racing Chewitt Mini Cooper Cup, and it's round 2, so it's the second round of the placement, what we call the placement races. So the idea behind these races is it sorts the men from the boys, essentially. So we're I'm just going to get some guys going in. So all I'm doing at the minute is popping some links around the place. Is that Fredo? Is that Fredo? Oh, it's Wilkie. Wilkie, you're not meant to be in here, mate. Bugger off. And we're live for the Chewitt Mini Cooper Cup. There's that. Right, so I think we are waiting on just the one more. Wilkie's decided this isn't for him and has gone. Right, so I'll get that done. That done. Perfect. Right, so for those of you who joined us last week, you sort of know what this is all about. This is Chewitt Mini Cooper Cup. This is lobby 1 of 2. We are doing Suzuka Circuit East course. I might as well get you some action on track. Yeah, we're doing Suzuka Circuit East course today. So it's the mini version of the famous and familiar Suzuka Circuit. A lap round here, as you can see from Sparks, 57 seconds on these tyres seems to be about what we're looking at. Obviously, we'll see what happens in quali. So the good thing about a short lap, I guess, it's you should produce a shorter field spread. There's probably less opportunity to make mistakes in this lap than any other lap, really. I did a few laps myself. I got into the low 57s. A hard car to handle coming into turn 1. So what we'll do when we get into quali, we'll probably jump on board with one of the boys and we'll talk you through a lap. Most people will be familiar with the circuit anyway. So the track guide for this one will be nice and easy. What you'll probably sort of see from this one, you'll see 2 races tonight. So we're about to jump into a qualifying session. We're just waiting on Fredo. Hold on, in fact, let me check Fredo. So I'm just checking how long Freddy's gonna be, because we're just waiting on one more guy who's doing the update. He's at 81%, so I'll just put a message to these boys so they're not waiting unnecessarily. Kind of be rude to kick Fredo out, because this whole thing's basically named after his sister. So the car you see being driven by Cutler is the actual replica livery of the one that Chloe Hewitt drives in the real world Chewitt Cup. Hunty the Punty, shouldn't you? Oh, you're waiting on quali as well, aren't you? What are you doing watching my stream? I'm not complaining. When you're racing in the other lobby. Anyway, how you doing? Nice to see you. Look forward to watching Darksmoka's stream later on and watching you crash and burn into turn 1 and you accidentally leave the brake balance all the way to the rear or something. I don't know. Yeah, so the format, just let you know, 15 minutes of quali approaching. We'll jump straight into a 15-minute sprint race. We will then give the guys a few minutes break, reverse the grid, so the guys who finish at the top will be right at the back, and then we double the race length, so we go to 30 minutes, we whack on tyre wear, we whack on fuel consumption, we take some fuel out of the tanks, So they get less fuel to start with. They only get 70 litres as opposed to 100. And in comes strategy. We'll talk, I guess, a lot about that because it's going to be quite important here in terms of how this track specifically will muller the tyres. As you see Cutler leaning that car in to the last guns and sparks, managing to control the slide, to be fair, which is something I didn't manage to do in practice. The front left is going to take an absolute kicking tonight. Lots of quite high load corners on that side, and it will kill that tyre. As you can see, Cutler's doing a good job of smashing his apart, but we haven't got a tyre wear on today, so in this bit. Okay, so I'm waiting for John. Should go now. Sorry, all I'm doing is chatting to the organiser. Just to see what we're doing. I'm just waiting on John getting back to me. He'll let me know. He's got the overwhelming say. It's not my league. I'm hosting it, but I'm doing the hosting as a favour to John, so that because he's racing in the other one, so. I'm just running this just because it's easier for me to do it from a commentary position rather than one of the racers. I'll leave it up to me. Don't do that. don't do that. It's your league. Don't let me make any decisions, mate. Right, sorry, you'll see me chatting to someone that isn't even on here. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna have to get underway, I think, very soon because yeah, you'll. We're running out of time. One good thing I really like about this league, other than the fact it's a spec series, and I've talked long and hard about how I love spec series in terms of just sorting out good drivers, is the liveries. So the liveries for these cars are individually handmade, lovingly, by a couple of livery designers in the league. They're replicas of the real world cars. So pretty much down to every little decal that's on there. They're all individually placed. They're moulded and copied from the real world Mini Cooper Challenge ones, apart from Peter. I don't think Peter's got one yet. They get assigned to the drivers, so they have to use the liveries that they're given. And yeah, I think this one's the newest one that PK is using. So this is quite a new livery that's come out. Oh, is it 97? Right, so we should be getting underway. I'd rather wait for him than start and then he join. You know what I mean? It'd be annoying. So because then he's got to wait half an hour. So yeah, so PK261's a new driver to the league. He's already showing some decent pace, so he's lapping in the high 57s on those medium tyres, and the medium tyres don't have the grip that the super softs do that I was doing my practice in. So he's 4.5 tenths off Sparks, and we know how fast Sparks is from our race last time. Suspect by his light flashing while he's turning corners at PK. He's a control pad user, so it'll be interesting to see how his tyre wear goes next time round. We'll see in the second race. 1 second. Sorry about that, my daughter charged in. Hi Revolver, how you doing? I think you're in the other lobby, aren't you? Yeah, we're just waiting on Just waiting on one more. So, if you're in the chat, drop in, say hello. Are you racing? Are you cheering someone on? Have you got this casual on in the background while you're doing the pots? And yeah, just come say hi, I guess. Chose to focus on the one guy that said the pits. So not much to view there, I guess, was there? Literally, I think Fredo is on his way now, so we should be, you know, nearly done with qualifying. There he goes. Come on, right, Fredo, get ready. So I'm just going to leap out of here, and it's just so I need to watch that, because once he gets a number next there, that means he's entered, and once he's entered, we can go. So I'm just going to check a few things. So all I'm doing here is just making sure that everyone is adhering to the rules. They are. Perfect stuff. Right, so come on, Fredo. Come on, Fredo. Come on. Come on. I need to press that button, and then we go. Come on, Fredo. So he might just be picking his car out. There we go, right, he's ready. So, we're going. This is qualifying, ladies and gents. This is 15 minutes. Fastest first. Let's see what this one brings. This will set us a grid for race number 1. So here we go. You'll get some funny camera angles just while the cars get out on track. It does this, I don't know why. So a camera that's about 4 miles away seems to focus on the pit lane. And then basically until they're halfway through the first sector, I can't see anything. There we go. Sparks coming out. So Sparks is number 1 on track, but he's not number 1 on the road. That is Peter. So as you can tell, he's quite subtle about it, but Peter's Dutch. The orange car, the Dutch lion, the Dutch number plate. Don't know if that's a hint. Not too sure. But we love him. We love our Peter. Good luck to you as well, Revolver. Hope your race goes well. I think you're in the other lobby tonight, aren't you? So good luck to you, my mate. Cutler is showing us number 1. So, okay, let's take you on board with Peter. And I'll just let you see just what, not a nightmare necessarily, but just how much of a handful these cars can really be. So don't forget, these are front wheel drive, short wheelbase cars, so under braking and turning at the same time, they'll just want to turn themselves around. So Peter's very light on the brakes here, only really goes remotely heavy on the brakes in a straight line. Powers all the way through the corner. This next section on mediums, you can probably get away with flatlining most of it, just a little lift just to settle the car. It's just to curb the understeer essentially, because the car will essentially want to drive straight on when it's full throttling, so you need to lift just to give the tyres a bit of a break. Coming through the last section and into the quite tight right-hander which opens up on exit, so you want to get an early apex and then run the car out wide, just like Peter's doing here. Run the car out wide, get on the power, straighten it up. It won't accelerate while it's turning. You need to be in a straight line. So Peter puts in a 57.5 straight away, which is a good time to get us underway with. Sparks puts in a 57.8 to put himself in second on the road at the time being, but these are first time, so they're not really that representative. There's Revolver, there's Fredo. Oh, Revolver is in this lobby. Hello, Revolver. For some reason I thought you were in the other lobby. So Fredo's pushing Revolver along the circuit at this minute in time. Joanna puts himself in 4th with 58.1. Was that? No, 58.1. Cutler, running Chloe Hewitt's livery, is in 7th at the minute, but he hasn't set a time yet, so Cutler's going to put himself in 2nd position. That's a great lap by Cutler. In fact, one thing I just need to do is put that on. So Milo Tyler's going to be the next one to set an actual lap, closely followed by Bigsy. A very busy livery on Milo Tyler's car. Because the lap takes so little time to get round and there's no tyre wear on, you'll probably see each driver set 15 odd qualifying laps. It's just a victim of circumstance, I guess. So Milo Tyler, how can he do 58.7, and Bigsy puts himself just above him with a 58.2. Currently leading the way is Sparks, has improved to a 57.4. Peter's behind him, 57.5, so it's very close at the top. In fact, top three separated probably by just over 1/10 of a second. So what I sort of said earlier about these east sort of little courses giving us a lot of scope for close qualifying is certainly playing true. Sparks goes straight on at exit. Is Peter on an improved time? He really needs to be 57.4 to get up there, and it's not going to. He's obviously had an issue somewhere along the line. Cutler is running personal best sectors at this minute in time, but it's this S's sections where it can all go wrong. PK sets himself in a beautiful time of 57.7. That's fourth on the road at the minute in time, 2.5 tenths away from Sparks up ahead. So PK showing some real pace in these minis. Cutler looks like he might have took that a little bit too fast. That's going to cause him issues coming out. He manages that really well, does Cutler. So he's got a 57.6 to beat, goes fastest with a 57.2. Superb effort there by Cutler. I initially thought he was running it, he'd overcooked it into the last turn, but no, he got his apexes absolutely spot on. So Fredo is Chloe's brother. Fredo races himself. I had Tony on the stream last week, and Tony was talking about how Fredo, he's only a young lad, he's not even 20 yet. About how he's racing. He was racing Ford KAs, I think, something like that. So Fredo's got real life racing experience. Lovely, as you see, Bigsy just bails out of the way, to be fair, which is nice. These guys give themselves a lot of respect in quali. Milo Tyler set another lap, doesn't go faster. Revolver, he's currently the last one on the road at the minute. 1.7 seconds separates him from Cutler at the top of the tables. Cutler's just set another lap, hasn't improved. Sparks is coming through the last section now. Let's see what this sector time is, see if it's worth following. It's personal best. It is a personal best, so this one might be worth going on board for, just seeing how he cuts a lot of that corner. That might well be a penalty for Sparks. We'll see what the race director thinks of that. He decides to slap him with a half-second penalty, which is a shame because that would have probably been enough to get past our Cutler. Skip Peter there. Peter's just started another lap. 57.5 to beat Peter. PK's just started another lap as well. He's half a second away from pole position. But the pace he's showing will be worrying a lot of the guys in here. Because he is showing himself to be very, very capable indeed. Fredo just puts in a great time, 57.8 now. Joanna is about to set another lap. Let's see if this is quicker for Joanna. It isn't. It's a 58.4. That's not good enough at this minute in time. So it's very close there. So 5 100ths of a second either way for Joanna. So he's in a bit of a sandwich at this minute in time. Bigsy is setting personal best sector, so it might be worth just following Bigsy around, see if he manages to leapfrog Joanna. He gets a lot of tyre square from that. You can sort of hear what I mean with that tyre wear. PK sets a great off 57.3. That's PK into third position now. We are just following Bigsy slightly down in the middle sector. All going to come down to this last corner. Can Bigsy pull it together, gets on the throttle nice and early, nearly knocks over a cone on the way out, but just a lot of understeer on the way out of that corner as well. We'll see how he did cost himself a little bit more time in that last corner. Milo Tyler hasn't improved yet. His best lap was his second lap, so he's got another 7 odd minutes yet, so he's got plenty of time as he just overcooks it coming into turn 1. Revolver has improved on his best times. He's very close to Miley Tyler up ahead, so the pace all the way through the field is actually quite good. Everyone's putting in decent laps at this minute in time, but the fastest man on the circuit is Cutler. Cutler, who we saw involved in some great action with Sparks last time round, and I just hope we get a repeat of that. The Cutler Sparks battle was a great thing to watch last week. Second only to the Antoine Hubert tribute that they all did, led by this man driving Hubert's car. Of course, last week was the first race basically since his tragic passing at Spa. They did a parade lap. If you haven't seen that, it's well worth going checking it out later. It's quite tearjerking. On Sparks' channel, he did post a video himself, sort of my commentary overdubbed with a little bit of music. It's really nicely done, to be fair. So Sparks then got a beat of 57.4. He's got pole. Can Cutler do anything about that? Cutler will have just seen that flash up on his timing screen in the car. He will be sieving right now. He's not on a very fast lap at this minute in time. He's got Joanna up ahead as he comes through the middle sector. You see the guys basically balancing this thing on the rev limiter, so they don't have to change up. If you change up, you bog down, especially coming up here. This isn't a fast lap for Cutler. With 7 tenths down on his personal best, as he skittles some cones. Perhaps got distracted there, so that's going to ruin not only this lap but the next one. But he has got 5 minutes left, so he's got time if he wants to go for it again. So Sparks then currently our pole position man. As we come towards the end of qualifying, I guess now. Let's see if he improves his time. It's not going to be an improvement. It's still a damn good lap of 57.3. PK doesn't go any faster. Brilliant consistency from PK though. He's really throwing in those laps in a nice and consistent manner. As Peter has had a bit of a venture off track, has to dive out of the way at the last minute out of Sparks. I don't think he saw him coming. Didn't do a Vettel at Monza though, fortunately. Fredo just ran the last corner. Fredo's best is a 57.7. It was a 57.6, so not on the pace for Fredo at all at this minute in time. This lad's not really had any practice by the sounds of things either. Chewitt is still holding on to 6th. Biggs is in 7th. Miley Tyler he's in 8th and has got quite a sizable gap to Revolver, whose best lap currently is a 58.8. So we'll have a look at Cutler's just about to enter the next split time, so we'll see if this is going to be any better. He's a second down on his best time at the minute, so for Cutler, not a great lap this one. As we just see Joanna off the circuit there, and Joanna's parked up, maybe having a sandwich. So Sparks isn't on a lap that looks like he's going to massively improve this. Let's see if he takes this last corner any better. Cuts that apex beautifully, just gets on the apex here, back on the power, straighten the steering up as quickly as possible, dive to the inside for the straightest line possible, and it's a 57.2, which is damn close, but it's 57.24, not 57.21. So Sparks is showing some nice early pace. Obviously loves the way of the Japanese as he drifts it round turn 1. Cutler's not really going for a lap at this minute in time. PK again with that consistency. See how he's got through the first turn in terms of his split. He is slightly down. Peter's parked up. Him and Joanna are having a sandwich, I think. As Fredo sets another lap time, but again it's not an improvement. But still a good 5th place for Fredo at the minute. We do know he's a good racer, so maybe he can make the time up in the race. Joanna's improved slightly. Big Z is parked up, having a sandwich. gap to Bigsy, so he's got a bit of work to do. So he's revolver if he wants to get himself up there. Just take a nice line through that corner. Will the track gods deem that a cut? Guys have got enough time for one or two more laps. As he just set a good time there, revolver. That's his best time in the session so far, 58.6. It's not a bad time at all. He's chopping away at Marlotale up ahead. Really light braking for turn 1. Runs as much speed through there as he possibly can. Is Cutler coming back to make another move? No, it's not an improved lap time, so Cutler's going to have to go for some hot laps now. Peter needed to piss. Well, it's better now than in the race, mate. Gotta be honest. Better now than in the race. I'm just checking some DMs before we get going. Okay, let's see if Cutler does anything with this lap. 600 of a second. It just runs it a bit too easy, pushing too much there, Cutler. That's not going to be an improved time. It's going to cost him, probably cost him his run down as well. So I don't think he's going to get another lap in, not one that's representative. So on the road at the minute, Sparks, numero uno. Cutler's on his last attempt, overhauling him for pole, and he's really pushing that car. Let's see what his split time is. It's down 4.5 temps. It's going to be hard to make that up through this lap. PK, well earned third position so far. So it looks like all the boys are going to pretty much finish the qualifying laps up, so this qualifying should wrap up very quickly. So it's Sparks and Cutler on the front row, followed by PK and Peter on the second row. Fredo and Chewitt will take up residence on the third row of the grid. Bigsy and Myler, fourth row of the grid, and then a Revolver will be at the back. For the first race at the Suzuka East Course, Sparks sets fastest time so far, 57.1, just to extend that lead and just twist the knife, because Cutler can't really do anything about that one at this minute in time. He can do something about it in the race though. Qualifying's about done. We're about to jump straight into a race now. This is 15 minutes. We're not going to have tyre wear to worry about. All the lads running on the medium compound. And here's your grid, ladies and gentlemen, for the Suzuka East Course. Twisty it is, isn't it, right? It's good fun in these. More body roll than Gemma Collins. Look at that SS pleb at the top, look at him. Oh, Lex wank. Right then, so here we go. 150 brake horsepower. Really hard to control from the start. Sparks gets a great start. Cutler bogs down a little bit. PK gets a flyer of a start, so PK's going to be right down that inside line. So Sparks leads us into turn 1 from Cutler, from PK, from Peter. Looks like Chewitt at the back's getting really tasty with Fredo, but I think he just pulls out of that one. Ready to set some replay markers if we need to. So it looks like everyone's got through the first corner okay. Peter's putting a real charge on PK now. These guys don't have to worry about looking after the tyres at all, they can just go flat out. So you'll probably see quite a lot of tasty action in this race. Let me just put you some race info on. For some reason it defaults to being off. There we go. So you get a bit of an insight into what the drivers are seeing. So this is what a mini train looks like, ladies and gents. So PK's under some real pressure now from Peter. Is Peter close enough to make a move? He probably is, you know. He probably is close enough to make a move, but you've got to be very brave and very confident to make a move into turn 1. It's not going to be an easy track to overtake on. As we just see Fredo getting it a little bit wrong. It's very easy to do that. Chewitt does the exact same thing, and then so does Myler Tyler going out the back, but they both managed to keep the cars. It's going to give Revolver an opportunity to make a play, so Revolver's going to dive that car up the inside, a little bit of contact, nothing too dramatic. Revolver backs out of it, lets Myler Tyler take the place back. Revolver now with a bit of a fresh enthusiasm for this one, sees a car in front of him and he's immediately gone into attack mode. He's just not close enough, just backs out of that one a little bit, so let's just see how that all unfolded. So Myler Tyler just looks to have overcooked it a little bit and just follows Joe Winner in, matching turn 1 offs, I think. So we've had an issue. Cutler's gone away somewhere. Cutler's had an issue. I've replay marked it just in case. Let's have a look if we can see what happened there. I think we might have missed it. Yeah, Cutler just runs himself wide coming off the last turn, so he was really pushing the limits of that in qualifying. So that's Cutler now down into 6th position. He's 4.5 seconds away from Sparks, who was leading the charge away from PK. The fight behind and Cutler's issue has only let him escape this one. Peter is really putting him under pressure. Fredo as well is racing really nicely. He's made up a couple of positions. Sort of kept his nose clean. He did have that little bit of an issue before, but other than that he's made a place up. So has Big Z. Fredo actually puts the fastest lap of the race in at 57.2 so far. So Sparks, with all his clean air, he's not really doing too much with it. Maybe he's just maintaining, taking it slowly, but at least being cautious. Lovely camera angle of all the cars streaming down the straight. So Sparks is slowly pulling a lead out. Probably don't expect to see huge leads being developed in this race, purely because everyone's on the same strategy, which is if in doubt, flat out sort of thing. Let's watch all the cars go through. So everyone's still relatively close together. In fact, if we just flip back to Revolver, 10 seconds to Sparks. Sounds like a lot, but if you look at the map there, top right hand corner, that's not a lot of time at all. Sparks does overhaul Fredo's fastest lap. Fredo looked like he was just going for poking out of someone's slipstream there. Doesn't appear to be considering a move. Cutler's now trying to make places back up. PK's defending this one massively. Cutler is not going to let this one go easy. On board with Cutler, see what he's looking at right now. So Cutler's basically pushing him along the track. Cutler is one of the fastest guys on the track, you see, so he'll obviously want to get past. You can see the guys ahead moving away, a little bit of contact there. Sometimes it's unavoidable in these spec car races. It's going to put him on the outside. And Cutler again just a little bit wide, has to get out of it, a little bit of contact maybe. Cutler's now got the inside line. That's ferocious racing from these guys, and that now brings Joe Winner into play. So PK is going to be furious about that. He's going to want to get straight back at him. We have got that replay to watch. We'll go back to it in just a moment. Cutler ferocious to defending this line now. He's going to have to keep the inside line going into turn 1, which is going to compromise his entry. So he's going to have to try and run a little bit more. As Joe Winner just absolutely flies off into the distance, but manages to keep his place. Cutler now is under pressure from PK. He could do with just looking ahead, not back. He's got a 2.5 second disadvantage to Fredo at the minute, so he really needs to get on with it. We'll just follow this battle, because this is the battle to watch right now. Jump on board with PK. So Cutler's pulled a little bit of a gap, 4 tenths very tiny, as we just watched these guys go head to head. Now the battle to watch is Peter and Fredo down the main straight. Peter got a bit of a run on Fredo coming out the final turn. And he's got the inside line now. Fredo didn't defend that one quick enough. Peter's just got him under braking. Fredo's having a lunge back. Very good on the brakes there, Fredo, to be able to manipulate the car in that way. But that's Peter up into third position. He was in third position. He's defended third position at this minute in time. Now the field spread is starting to go now. Sparks has got himself into a rhythm. So Sparks is nearly 4 seconds up the road from Bigsy. Himself is pulling a little bit of a gap to the guys behind because they're fighting. So Peter and Fredo, I don't think that one's over yet. I think we're still yet to see more out of that one. Cutler has pulled a little bit of a gap to PK behind. PK did put up a really good challenge against him for a couple of laps. And you will argue that neither of these guys deserve to be in 5th and 6th respectively. That has been the card they've been dealt. And they have 8 minutes to rectify that. So if they want to fix it, there's time left in the race to do just that. Chewitt after that spin is chasing the pack, so he's now chasing PK, who he hopes is being held up by Cutler. Joanna is the fastest man on track at this minute in time, setting purple sectors, so we'll be wanting to recover from that one sharpish. Excuse me. But he's got a 3-second gap to PK up ahead. You can just hope that him and Cutler start fighting to race out. This is what Joanna's looking at right now. Looks like these guys are fighting again, so somewhere along the line Cutler's made a mistake. So 57.6 for Cutler and 57.3 for PK, so it was a great lot for PK. He's fastest of the race so far, and he's really on the charge for Cutler, who doesn't defend going into turn 1. PK's just a little bit sooner on the brakes. Probably just wanting a better run out of this corner, probably the better overtaking opportunity. He's actually into inverted commas turn 3 here on the road now. It's probably easier to snip a nose up the inside and get the move done here. As we can just see the battle between Fredo and Peter sort of reigniting again now. We'll move on to those guys in a minute. So we'll have a look at what these guys are doing. So Peter's got a very hungry for getting ahead. Fredo behind him. Fredo's going to aim for the better run out of the corner, but I don't think he's got it. I think Peter's got a better run out as he slowly pulls a little gap to him. Slipstream not worth an awful lot in these cars. They're not exactly aerodynamic, so they don't kick up a ton of dirt yet. It's worth a little bit though if you get a good exit. So Fredo's just lovely drift around turn 1. I'm going to have another look at that, because that is that's what you call a Tokyo drift on turn 1 from Fredo. It's like watching Ken block. Just need to put the dun 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 music on. Anyway, so I'm chatting nonsense again. I told you, didn't I? Anyone that knows my channel knows I chat absolute nonsense. So this is a view from Fredo's car looking up the rear of the is he Dutch or not Peter as they fly down the main straight. Peter's pulled in on Bigsy quite a lot actually, so Bigsy's now dropping back from Sparks quite considerably, and this battle that these two are fighting in is going to be involving Bigsy very soon. These guys showing some real race pace today. Fredo drifts again all the way around, but he's able to carry so much more speed through the entry of that corner than Peter is. Just closes right up under braking, but Peter just seems to get him on the exit, so Peter's exit speed is better, and that is way more critical. Meanwhile Cutler and PK still very close together. I did sort of think to myself that Cutler might just pull away, but he's made a few mistakes this race, and PK behind hasn't, basically. He's had a very good race as PK so far, and yeah, he's really putting Cutler under some pressure, and Cutler's probably one of the favourites to do very well in this championship. Both him and Sparks have shown real promise in the mini leagues so far. can PK mount a challenge to those guys? He's certainly fast enough to do so. His Cutler just has to dip to the inside, so he's got one more. He can move once more, and then as soon as you're onto the braking zone, he's got to commit to his line, commits to the defensive line. PK goes to the outside. He's going to go for the switchback perhaps and get him under braking for turn 2. No, he plays it safe. Who is that going to go off and off? That's Fredo. Fredo just doesn't want to slam onto the re-entry. That's going to really mess PK's attack up. So that's going to promote Cutler up into 4th, but PK basically just has to bail out of that one. And instead, while Fredo's got dirty tyres, PK's going to want to get around the outside of him. He can't make his advantage stick at this minute in time. Just can't make a move around here. It would have been better to dive down the inside there, PK, but he's probably going to go for the move into turn 1 instead. Is he going to get a track cut penalty from the stewards there? They're reviewing it at this minute in time, and they decide to let him off with that one. Maybe just a black and white flag instead. Let's have a look at that Fredo move. So Fredo basically goes off track. Doesn't rejoin directly on the racing line, but you can just see how much this interrupts this battle that was going on. And that's just giving Cutler a break now, so Cutler can now just start pulling this gap. Fredo will definitely be on Cutler's Christmas card list this year, after saving him from what was the onslaught of the guys up ahead. Let's check back in with the battle. Looks like somewhere along the line Peter's got up into second. Sorry Peter, we missed that. We were watching some fearsome stuff going on behind you. So Biggsy has lost out there. Doesn't like he's lost out through a mistake, because his lap times are pretty decent. 58 in there, which is a couple of attempts off what he should be doing, but Peter's just having a really good afternoon, to be honest. He's absolutely slamming it. So far Peter is my driver of the day. I always sort of subsequently, not that it means anything, but I always sort of nominate one. Somewhere along the line Fredo has had another off, and that means the PK and Cutler battle is back. We are back with these guys. PK's got another couple of laps to mount a charge. Bit of a flash of lights to put Cutler off there. Cutler is someone who defends excellently, is not easily phased. I've raced this guy in the GT3s enough to know that you can try and piss him off as much as you want, and he doesn't seem to rise to it. So probably on the penultimate lap now. I should imagine that a lot of these guys will get just 2 more laps in, given where they are on track on the timer elapses. So just a bit of a recap. Sparks, so we've not covered an awful lot because we haven't needed to. He's had a very boring race, winning. Peter, great race from Peter. He's led an absolute charge, been brilliantly consistent. He's managed to take the 2nd step on the podium so far. Biggsy can't be disappointed, you know. Third is a good result, an absolutely good result, and he did well to hold off a lot of the onslaught that was no doubt coming. I don't think this one's over yet, so this, 4th place is yet to be decided, but so far Cutler's got hold of that one by the scruff of the neck, and he won't let it go. Closely followed by PK, Chewitt. He's got a gap either side of him to Myler Tyler. Myler Tyler himself has got a bit of a gap to Fredo. Fredo's had a bit of a disastrous last couple of laps, but has shown great promise in this race. And Revolver is rounding up the grid in 9th. So final lap, ladies and gentlemen. So if they're looks like, yeah, everyone's going to get round to do 1 more lap. So the finishing order as we'll see it. I think we just need to keep our eyes on a few things. Cutler just runs himself a little bit wide there. Sorry Sparks, I'm not really going to get to cover you because I'm too busy watching this. So that Sparks over the line, just properly slams the handbrake up. Peter does the same thing. Biggsy decides I'm not a child. Cutler secures 4th place from an onslaught from PK. Joanna, got to be happy with that. Myler Tyler for a surprise 7th finish. 7th position finish, sorry, for him, with Fredo in 8th and Revolver in 9th. That will mean that Fredo starts on the front row of the grid for the next race though, so could that be tactical? Who knows? Alright then, so that's that. Sorry, I was just answering some messages. So well done to Sparks, our resident alien. Sorry Sparks, if you're watching this, mate, you got next to no coverage, mate, because you just dominated the race. What is the point in covering you when you are absolutely killing it? Right, just going to give these guys a break. Race 2 starts at 21:20 BST. I'll put that in brackets as 6 minutes. Cutler gave you what? Doing something wrong in turn 1, I break it 52 metres, is that too early? Sparks can answer that one. I don't know. Right, I best save these replays and everything else. So you're going to get a blue screen in just a second. Race results, there we go. I just need to snap a picture of that, ladies and gents. There we go. That was bloody good racing in that one. 2 really good battles throughout the pack. So you had PK and Cutler sort of trying to kill each other the entire way through it. Fredo then got himself involved in that one. Sort of through a mistake he made while he was up ahead, sort of fell off the track, rejoined just behind Cutler. PK was on a massive charge behind him. Cutler gave you the race. Yeah, well, he did it another couple of times, but mate, I'll tell you someone to watch out for, or 2 people you've got to keep your eye on, my friend, is PK, bloody quick, and Peter, PTRT, the Dutch guy. My driver of that race was him. Absolutely superb all the way throughout, really consistent, just drove his race. Evening Darksmoka, how are you doing, my friends? Good to see you pop by. So what I'm going to do actually is just set the race up for numero 2. So I'll give the guys... Right, I need to just check the website for this because I always forget. So it's 10 times tyre. Your tyres are going to be shredded, boys. And then times 8 fuel. And they're only going to get 70 litres, I think, is it? 70 litres, yeah, I was right. So this will basically take the non-stop out of the equation. And it forces a lot more strategy. We're not doing quali now, so we'll just do practice enduro. I'll set that to 30 minutes. And then we'll give them tyres, there we go. It's racing hard. Perfecto. Right, so there's your settings for the next one. So we're going to do 30 minutes. Oh, I need to do the reverse grid. I forgot. Who does one thing? There's always one thing. So how's it going over in your lobby, Darksmoka? P reverse grid. There we go. Always one thing I forget. Always. Without a shadow of a doubt. There's always one thing. Darksmoka, what I will do, mate, is I always just re-watch your stream from the start, because if I pop in halfway through I never know what's going on, so I re-watch your stuff from the start. I just find it easier to follow. Okay, let's have a look, a little bit of group chat. Yeah. Spot on. have a deck check ready for race 2 from Cutler. Cutler hates the last turn. Mate, you went off there a couple of times. Yeah, it's entertaining, you know. So let's see what the lads are doing. So now, of course, let's keep an eye on Sparks. Didn't get much. All tyres allowed. Yes, mate, you can have. You can have. Oh, what am I doing? Right, so the guys will have the options now of picking their starting tyre. This is where strategy comes into play. Sparks tries to wipe out Evolver. This is where strategy will really come to the forefront of it. Do they try an extended first stint? Can I leave lobby and change tyres? Yeah, you can change. Yes. I don't see any harm in that. Right, so I'm just going to leave you with no commentary for a minute because I need a wait, and then we'll get the sack race underway. 1 second, guys. Right, so we're back and we've got to be ready for race 2 now, so let's get this show on the road. Oh, right, back in my chair. So everyone's on track. Let's just check. Yeah, spot on. You don't need to necessarily get, it's going to start your reverse anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. Everyone's entered. Perfect stuff. Let's go. So 9 drivers, but only 1 winner. Some nice, impressive strategies. How many in lobby 1? 9. Okay. Perfect stuff. Let's go, boys. So reverse grid then. So the guys that are at the top of the field will be the ones that finished last in the first race, and the fast guys in theory then should be right at the back of the grid. So Revolver's going to get us underway for race number 2's 30-minute enduro. Revolver gets a bit of a poor start. Mile Italy behind gets an absolute flyer. So does Fredo, in all fairness. That's going to put Fredo all the way up into first position as it stands on the road. Marla Tyler in second. PK up into third. Going to have a look underneath, I guess. Evolver's holding on to fourth so far, but Biggsy's trying to go around the outside. Peter's into seventh with Sparks already into eighth, and Joanna down to ninth as it stands. PK into second position. He's going to be one of my favourites to pull a result out of this one. Just have a look at any action going on behind, any overtakes. There's probably a ton of action that I'm missing. Peter's trying to go around the outside, so we'll turn into the inside for the last of the S's, but then we sweep round to the right for the last corner. Cutler up into fourth. That looks like Peter and Joanna have had a bit of an off, and they're both right down the back of the grid now. We'll come back to that in just a second. We'll see what's going off as we just see Cutler going for a move on Marla Tyler. Cutler's going to get that one done. Cutler now had a PK. Revolver's going for a move as well. So Marla Tyler's got a really, really bad exit, and that's Marla Tyler now off the track onto that really horrible grippy green stuff. It just doesn't let you grip into it. Sparks up into sixth. Sparks might be having a bit more of a conservative race, who knows, but he's really giving Fredo a bashing around. So come on mate, I need to get up here. Meanwhile Cutler's putting PK under some pressure again. This could be another one of these battles from between these guys. He's kick each other's heads in, who knows. PK looks like he might have just cut across the track there a little bit, probably really blurring the edges of what track limits were able. We'll go back and have another little look at that Joanna and Peter incident in just a moment. But these guys are yet again knocking 10 bells of crap out of one over at the top of the field. Cutler and PK. Cutler just nudges ahead. He's going to outbrake himself potentially into just two wheels on the green stuff at the end, but holds it. Beautiful driving there from Cutler. Just really swept around the outside. I wish I hadn't already got a replay saved, which I'm going to have to go back and watch now and just see what happened with Joanna at the back of the field. So we're looking at these guys. So we'll go on board with Peter as he was the one on the outside. In fact, we'll go on board with Joanna, who's going to have a much better view of this. So yeah, it looks like Joanna's got a nudge, and they both get two wheels on the grass, and effectively they were both then sucked off circuit, which sounds good. Promise you it isn't. Joanna another just gets out of the way, Marla Tyler. So just unfortunate for Joanna then, he's not had a great open into this race, and he finds himself down at the bottom. Cutler leading the charge now, pulling away from PK. Cutler is starting on the softest compounder tyre there is possibly available, the very, very, very grippy super soft tyre. PK on the medium, which should have a longer lifespan. Revolver into third position. Revolver's holding on to third. He's doing a brilliant job. He's on the grippy tyre as well, but Revolver's doing a brilliant job in third position, really holding on to that, and you could argue pulling a gap to Bigsy, who is under some real pressure from Sparks. Sparks on the medium tyre as well, perhaps going a little bit conservative in his first stint, as Peter just bends it on the last corner, unfortunately for him. Gets out of the way on track exit. Joanna does have take avoiding action, but Peter was not in his way on purpose, I can promise you that. He dived straight over to the other side of the circuit. Cutler, I'm afraid you're probably going to get ignored most of this race, mate, because looking at that, you are storming away. PK's building a little bit of a gap to Revolver, but Revolver himself is building away from Sparks. Sparks now having passed Bigsy. We'll be up into fourth, and we'll be just wanting to make his position for the first stint count. Biggs is absolutely eating those front tyres, getting tons of tyre on that front left hand. Marla Tyler actually doing a really good job on his tyres. Fredo is killing his. So similar to the guys up ahead, he's really throwing his car into the corners and not looking after these tyres at all. Same can really be said to Joanna and Peter, who's running the soft compound. Cutler on the super softs is doing a better job of looking after his tyres than some of the guys behind on harder compounds, so that just tells you what you need to know about that. PK doing a good job in second. Revolver's doing a brilliant job to hold on to him. He's now coming under pressure from Sparks, his Revolver. I don't know if he's going to put up too much of a fight for that, probably not. But Revolver's chucking in some nice lap times. Of course he will be running race pace now, so it might be fuel saving, who knows. You have the option of running your car in a leaner fuel setting, which by default saves fuel because the car's not producing as much power. It will make anyone behind running the higher fuel setting a very easy job on overtaking it. So part of the strategy might be Revolver might well be saving some fuel here, and that will save you time in the pits when you have to refuel. I'm not going to on stream announce fuel levels because I don't really think that's fair. Some drivers will watch the stream, and I'm not into giving tactics away. I will probably sort of signify if anyone's due to go into a pit stop soon, but that's about as far as I'm going to go. Of course you guys watching the stream can see it. The racers hopefully shouldn't be watching the stream, but I just want you to have a look at Miley Tyler's fuel level. I think you can see what he's doing. Very interesting. Biggsy behind then. In 6 we know he's got the pace again as he's saving fuel. Peter's had a bit of a nightmarish race so far. He's fell off the track a couple of times. He'll be looking to redeem himself throughout this race. He just tries to get rid of that penalty. Doesn't want to burn off, just cuts a little bit of the track there, I'm afraid. Does that might top his penalty up some more. It does. The race officials have decided to slap him with a ½ a second penalty. There are no rules as to how you have to get rid of your penalties. You can get rid of them in whatever manner you wish. You can slow down the straights if you want, or you can just slowly lose them through the corners. That is fine. There is no issue there. The stewards and the officials do have the option of giving post-race penalties, so that all the guys should be recording their point of view. As we'll just go on board with PK as he fends off an attack from Sparks. So yeah, as I was saying, all the guys should be recording their own point of view, so they should have onboard cameras. So in the event of any instances, the officials have onboard footage to review, and of course they've got telemetry, so they can have a look at the car's inputs and outputs and all that sort of stuff as well. Sparks makes the move on PK into seconds, so sort of easily done there for Sparks, which leads me to believe that PK might well be trying to save some fuel now. We will see. PK of course was leading the race at one point after the melee at the start, but appears to have dropped back a little bit so far. Revolver still holding on to fourth really nicely. Again, he's had a couple of slower laps this time, so is he saving fuel now? Who knows? But his pace has dropped a little bit, and that is allowing Miley Tyler in fifth to catch up. Miley Tyler's running in the high 59s on his laps most of the time. Peter behind's having a little bit of a nightmare, but we do know he's got pace. So this is the man that not 10 minutes ago I was saying that was my racer of race one. He was absolutely flying. So whether he's really struggling to adapt to the tyre wear on these cars, it does make the car drive differently. If you think every time you do a lap, you're effectively taking 10 laps worth of wear out of the tyres. These cars wheel spin as it is, so every lap your braking zone needs to be different, your sort of turning point needs to be different, the way you need to handle and manipulate the car needs to be slightly different as well. So some of the guys who struggle to adapt to that will fall off in this race. The guys who can manage that really well will naturally go higher in the order. Chewitt has managed to get past Fredo. Fredo's really struggling on tyres. Tyres is something I've got absolutely no issue talking about, because if you're out on track you can see how they're doing it. But Fredo's front left is absolutely dead. He will be getting next to no grip in in the right hand turns, and we've got the harshest of which coming up right now. So they take this at 60 miles an hour and they power out mid corner, and Fredo's just sorry about that, my controller decided it wanted to just randomly shut off midstream. Very rude of it. So technical glitches aside, let's have a look what's going on. There we go, we're back in business. So we're 11-12 minutes into the race now. We see the first of our pitters in. It's Bigsy, who was running the mediums. So he's in first. He's followed by Fredo. Fredo's managed to save a little bit more fuel, but his tyres are absolutely dead. Cutler driving the super softs. They'll start to really fall off the cliff now, as you can see. That's giving him massive understeer, and he just has a bit of a moment coming through the last of the S's. Sparks' mediums are in pretty good shape. Now, will Cutler pit here? He does. So Cutler opts to pit. Sparks is going to go for the overcut. So Sparks is going to have. He really needs a fly over lap now in order to make some time up to Cutler. Fredo has left the room, unfortunately, so I don't know if he had a technical issue or something. Puts PK into second, but PK's gonna have to pit soon. So is Peter. He's extending his stint. Myler Tyler isn't in desperate need of a pit stop. Joanna is, so he needs to really come in next lap as well. Bigsy has come out in 8th, and what is now last position. Let's see where everyone else elapses up. So Cutler's gone onto the soft tyre now. So still a sticky compound. So Sparks on his outlap. Is he going round again? He is, he's going round again. So Sparks then really brave on his fuel. His fuel light is flashing. He's on fumes. So that lap for him was a 57.3. So that was a damn good lap for Sparks as PK peels into the pits. So does Peter. Cutler now just rounding the final corner. Okay, so Cutler needs to be putting in decent lap times now in order for himself not to be overcutted by Sparks. So Sparks is leading the race, but he's got to pit again. Cutler's 26 seconds behind him. Cutler is on fresh rubber, so he can really get the hammer down now, and Cutler will probably be doing just that, knowing that Sparks is potentially going for the split strategy. Sparks just coming through the final corner now. He's got to pit now as he just peels off. Yes, he does. It's probably worth us now going on board with Cutler. So Sparks' fuel tank pretty much empty, so he's going to have to take on a considerable amount of fuel, as Cutler's got a couple of corners left before he hits the start-finish straight. Cutler's also setting, he's the fastest man out there right now. So Sparks then taking on fuel still. So let's just see if we can see his pit crew release him. Not released yet by the looks of things. So Cutler is going to assume the lead of the race. Why does Sparks come out? Sparks comes out 1.7. We'll wait for that to reset, because that will need to do a bit of resetting first. 3 seconds behind. So Sparks hasn't taken all that on board. There we go. He's on medium tyres again. Must feel very comfortable on that. Meanwhile, leader of your race, ladies and gentlemen, Myler Tyler. So Myler's done a really good job on this. I've got to commend him for his potential strategic genius call so far. because so far, I mean, he's not lapping quickly, he's lapping in the 1 minute, but he's lapping consistently in the 1 minute, and he's looked after those medium tyres really well, so he's not necessarily losing out on pace. He's got a 4-second gap to Cutler. Cutler will be chopping away at that gap by a second and a bit of lap, so probably by the end of the lap I expect him to be right on his chuff. Sparks not far behind, but there's a bit of a big gap to PK behind. So PK and Peter and everyone behind were really suffering from tyre wear towards the latter parts of their stints. In fact, we see Big Z, who was the first man in the pits, has already taken quite a lot of life out of that left front tyre. So this is all down to your driving style, guys. This is why you've just got to be smooth and consistent, because if you throw your car around, you will kill your tyres. Without a shadow of a doubt, they will die a horrible death, and that ain't what you want. So Miley Tyler stays out for yet another lap, but on that lap alone he's lost a second to Cutler behind him. Don't forget, he's potentially not going for the race win. He is instead, as he comes up to lap Joanna, he's instead doing his own strategy. Tyre wear's let him down a little bit there though. That's going to just take him off the circuit. That's going to put Cutler right on him now. So as soon as you get some wheels on that green stuff, it keeps you, it holds you, it's like quicksand. It does not want to let you go. Cutler's now right on his chuff, and Miley Tyler doesn't put up a fight with that one really. A little bit of side contact, but I just think that was tyre wear kicking in all brutal honesty. If Miley Tyler wants to get a Christmas card from Cutler this year, he should really think about holding up Sparks behind him, but it looks like he's going to pit instead. He doesn't want part of that. Sparks now down to just a 2-second gap to Cutler. A bit of a mistake coming out that last corner is going to cost him a couple of attempts down the straight. So where's Miley Tyler going to emerge? His pit stop is going to work on his car now, so he's going to lose out to PK and Big Z potentially. We shall see. I'd expect a fair few of these guys to pit again. You tend to see the one stop should work quite well here, providing you can look after your tyres. Big Z, for example, is going to have to pit again, because he's shredding those tyres to absolute smithereens. Miley Tyler does emerge from the pits. He comes out in 6th. Healthy gap over Evolve, and he's now able to chase Big Z down. He should reel Big Z in at a rate of knots, in fairness, given the natural pace advantage that those fresh tyres are going to give him. Keeping up with comments. If you are watching and you're just watching to support someone, let me know who you're supporting, and I'll make sure I try and give them some coverage in the race. So the Cutler Sparks battle is setting up to heat up again. In terms of tyres, they're both managing their tyres really well. Sparks is setting fastest sector times though, so he's probably the quicker man on track right now. Neither of them have got to worry about an attack from behind. Peter is running in 3rd. So after that awful start by Peter, and what you can probably agree with is a few torrid laps. He's got his act together in the last sort of 5-6 laps, and he's really started to string a pace together. He's pulling away slightly from PK now. PK's not going anywhere. We know this is a man with pace. He was leading this race legitimately at one point. Big Z has killed those tyres, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in the pits. He's probably going for the split 2-stop strategy. So 10-minute stint pit, 10-minute stint pit. I probably won't be surprised if we see him go on to a slightly harder compound as well, just to make his life a little bit easier. Nearly whacks the pit exit, pit entry, sorry. That is going to drop him below Revolver, potentially even Joanna as well, as the leaders come around to lap him. So Cutler and Sparks then. 2.5 seconds behind them. Sparks have got 10 minutes to do something about this. Cutler will be getting a little bit of a tow from Joanna down this straight. We'll give him a few Ks at the end, probably just enough to help him defend from Sparks behind. Joanna's just pulled himself off the racing line. The guys that are getting laps don't have to yield to the cars behind. It's ultimately the responsibility of the faster car to lap the slower car, so to speak. So Joanna's not really under any obligations. He's getting blue flags, but that's just to warn him that there's a car coming. It's ultimately responsible of the guy overtaking to do the overtaking. That hasn't really cost him any time to Sparks. Sparks is still there or thereabouts. He's not going anywhere. Chocolate Cozzy, how you doing, man? How are you doing? No excuses. I don't get what you mean, mate. Oh, I've clicked off my live stream. There we go. But Fred did 4.8. Mate, you know what? I commented earlier on that he'd not had any practice because he's not updated his PS4. So I delayed qualifying for him because his PS4 weren't updated, and I wasn't going to say, but I just thought he must have been busy, and I have talked about his real life stuff. No, mate, it's fine. These are placement races anyway, so it don't really mean all that much, I guess. But I do hope he comes back, because if you re-watch this later, Tony, just watch some of his racing, mate. He was on fire in the early races. I think then just his tiredness just kicked in, has it? Yeah, we're doing really well at the start. So Myler Tyler has got past Revolver. Revolver's running in 6th, you know. He's keeping to his game plan, is what I'll say to Revolver. I think he's doing a good job with that strategy. Biggs is now on fresh rubber as suspected. He's gone on to the soft compound, not the soft compound, the medium compound of tyre, which will offer slightly less grip, but shouldn't shred itself to smithereens after 4 laps like the other ones do. Let's check in on this. Sparks has taken half a second out of Cutler in the last couple of laps, so this is setting us up for something towards the end of the race. They're both doing a decent job with tyres, but I would argue Sparks is looking after them slightly better. Fuel loads roughly the same. We are set for a grandstand finish with those two. Peter has got 15 seconds to the guys up ahead, but a 9-second gap behind, so he hasn't got to worry about PK launching an attack anytime soon. Same for PK. Solid 4th position running so far, but those tyres are really starting to go away. 19th to 9th. Are you sure he didn't just swap himself in Max Verstappen or something? No, great, good racing, mate. In the first lobby, Fredo. I'm just, in all honesty, mate, just hope to see you in the next races, to be honest. Yeah, so for those of you that are watching that are maybe new to the series, haven't watched it before, maybe re-watching this later on and sort of wonder why are a bunch of guys in an online league racing around in little minis. Well, as you see from the title of the video, it's the Chewitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup. So this is named after a real life racer, Chloe Hewitt. I did a bit of reading. I actually went on the Facebook page sort of in the week. You can have a look on the Facebook, Chewitt Racing, and sort of see what they all get up to and stuff. And it's sort of a bit of a racing family that they've got going on down there. We see Cutler appears to have pitted again. Weird strategy. Anyway, come back to that. So yeah, it's a bit of a racing family. So Fred, who you've seen in the lobby tonight, races. He's only a young lad, races Ford KAs, but he's, like I say, a young lad. He's like 16 or something like that. I'm sure Tony will tell me how old he is because I actually don't know. But I know he's a young lad. Chloe herself is a young girl. Races these cars. So this car actually, pretty much that exact car as Peter mounts a challenge on Cutler. So that livery that you see on NGR Cutler's car is Chloe's actual livery in real life. And you can see him in action at tracks all around the UK. So if you go on the Mini Cooper Challenge website or look up Chewitt Racing on Facebook, you'll get all the info on there as to what these guys are up to and where you can catch them. I don't live too far away from like Donington and stuff, so if they're ever there I will have a drive down and go and watch them, but I live in the arse end of nowhere, so it's usually hard for me to make real life racing. So what we've done in the sim racing world is sort of replicated what they do. Short little mini tracks, short races, nice little bit of fuel strategy in there as well, just to keep things interesting. And as I said at the start of the stream, the liveries that you watch are the liveries that the real life cars run, apart from that one, because Peter does what he wants. So all these liveries are finely tuned replicas of the real thing. So if you go to the Mini Cooper Challenge, you will see these cars in real life, and you will be thinking, oh, that's Myla Tyler going in, but it won't be, it will be someone else. Myla Tyler, by the way, again, excellent job on those tyres. Yeah, so it's kind of hard. That's what the racing's all about, anyway. Sorry, I've got sort of go on a tangent there, don't I? Yeah, that's what the racing's all about. That's why we do it. We've got two lobbies running with the same sort of thing. They're all running different liveries as well. So go and check out my good friend Darksmoka. He is running commentary on lobby number 2. So the exact same formats, the same racing, the same tracks, just different drivers. So of course we might have just a completely different race for those guys. But Darksmoka is also doing live commentary over those races. He will be doing for the remainder of the season. I'll be, well, I think once with these placement races are out of the way, we'll get a bit of a format as to how things are going, and next Monday you'll see the first, inverted commas, official race of what's going on. So Cutler then is on fresh rubber, but he had to pit again, so I think Sparks is just going to really extend this stint. Whether he's got enough fuel to do that, he's got lost another 3 laps or so. Has he got enough fuel to do that stint? I guess time will tell. We'll have to come and check back on him. Looking at how he's accelerating down, I'm guessing he's on a fuel save mission. Cutler doesn't really need to worry as much about fuel. Having just pitted, he will have pitted enough to the end. Peter's fallen back from Cutler a little bit, but he has got awful tyres, so there's no surprise he won't have the lateral grip that the other guys have got. PK literally has no tyres left. He might as well be driving around with a McDonald's baking tray slapped to the front of that car. That is going to handle awfully going into the left-handers, sorry, right-handers, which is what we're coming to now. Yes, we're really sensitive with that car. Doesn't even go near the edge of the track. But again, he's had a long stint, so I'm not surprised those tyres are shredded. So a lot of the guys running the one-stop strategy, which I didn't expect, you know. I think Myla Tyler's going to have to come in again looking at his fuel. But the one-stop is potentially a very dangerous thing, because it's kind of hard to judge how much fuel you need. And yeah, it's just your tyre wear at Suzuka is just diabolical. So then Sparks now is maintaining a good gap to Cutler. I think if he can just survive the next sort of minute or two on fuel, he'll be absolutely fine. Cutler, no worries at all. He's just going around setting fastest laps on his fresh sticky rubber. Peter's doing well, you know. In third, like I remember saying about him at about 7-8 minutes into the race that he's thrown this one away because he was in the gravel twice, but he's recovered. He's had a really good race, and credit to you, Peter. I think you've had a solid one, mate, again. PK, same issue again, really. His tyres are absolutely shot to smithereens. Myla Tyler, really good race for Myla Tyler so far, but can he save that fuel? So he's got at least one more lap to do after this. If he can make that fuel last, then he'll be okay. He has got a gap to Revolver behind him. He's got a similar problem, to be honest. So a lot of these guys are going to be marginal on fuel towards the end of the race. Joanna's tyres are gone, completely gone. Nothing worse. He's driving on greased up McDonald's baking trays right now. So Sparks then, he's gonna get across the line before yeah, before the timer runs out, so he's going to have to do another lap, unless he wants to slow it down right now and risk it for a chocolate biscuit, which he might do. Yep, he's doing just that, I think. Is he? No, that's it. Final lap, Sparks wins. Yeah, he really backed off that lap just to ensure his position and make sure he didn't have to drive another lap. Peter, great result, Peter. Absolutely superb, mate. Really impressive how you've handled that race, mate. Really good recovery drive. PK, our new guy, 2 superb races from PK. He can be very happy with the performance he's done. It's not easy to drive these minis, and he's performed well in both events. Myler Tyler, great result for 5th. Revolver, 6th place for Revolver. You've got to be happy for Revolver. And I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, but he's normally a lad that in these minis hasn't really got the pace that a lot of these aliens have. He's a fast guy, but he's not Sparks fast. And for him to bag a 6th place here is a good result. Big Z in 7th and Chewitt in 8th to round up your race, ladies and gentlemen. So that's it. That's the last of the action. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, so we've got what do we call it? We've got a group chat where all the guys sort of sit in and do all that sort of stuff. I'm just going to give you a blue screen while I screenshot these results. Yeah, and Cutler played a bit of a clever strategy. He pitted in order to sort of make Sparks think he needed to pit again, and was sort of secretly hoping that he would get him on strategy and on fuel, and basically hoping that he was going to that he was going to run out of fuel sort of towards the end of the race. Good night, Revolver. Thanks for racing, mate. I think you did well in that 2nd race. Got to be happy with that, mate. Got to be happy with that. Not easy to race against some of these bloody aliens. Cutler and Sparks and these cars are in another level. PK had a great evening. He's got to be impressed with his racing. Let's just put a great racing, boys. Let's just put a little thanks up for everyone. So I've saved the replays, and the replays will be going live on GT Sport very soon. Yeah, I've checked that. I'll send John the race results. I feel like Vettel. Spinny. Right, so let's do that. Spinny to Joanna. Yeah, so that's the Chloe Hewitt Mini Cooper Cup, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers, Peter. Thanks for that, mate. I'm not on form today. I went to a work gig yesterday. Anyway, long story, but I lost my voice, and I've only just been getting it back today, so it's a bit ropey. I've been trying to preserve it all night, so if I've not been talking as much, that is why. Yep, Mini Cooper. Sorry, the Chewitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup, League 1 races 3 and 4 done dusted, ladies and gents. You've got your results there. I hope you enjoyed the racing. Please check out Chewitt Racing in real life. Yeah, we do this in sort of homage of what they do. Fredo is a real life racer as well as Chloe, so go and give them a shout out. Tell them Chris sent you. You'll either get punched or welcomed in. I don't know which one. You'll have to see which one. See what mood Tony's in. Thanks for checking out the stream, of course, and please give me a bit of a subscribe, because it makes me all warm and fuzzy inside when I get that email that said someone subscribed to your channel. Makes me all nice and happy. That's it for now. I'm going to wrap up the stream here. Thank you very much for tuning in. Next action on the channel is probably going to be on Thursday, when I get round to when I'm commentating the Siroccos. Then over the weekend you'll probably get the review video of the upcoming GT3 race that I'll be doing for Monza. Alright, so thank you very much for your time, and I will see you in the next one.